Hey guys, WR2 again today, 85 gap. This is a razor from Wolfman, and I'm just running a bunch of blades through it. Today it is the Persona's turn. This is a Personna Platinum. The blade says Personna Platinum Chrome, Stirling Finest Badger, 26 millimeter. It's a great budget badger brush if you like a backbone. I'm trying to work this brush down. I've got it lofted as high as it'll go in the handle by virtue of silicone and some plastic washers to raise it up. The blade looks like this Personna Platinum Chrome, and I believe, I'm not going to say because I don't know for sure. Persona's blades are tricky because there are like 2 or 3 different kinds that are all the same blade. They're just named different, and there are definitely some threads out there to maybe help you understand what's going on if you want to hunt for them, but it's very confusing. This blade's got just 2 shaves on it. Early in my wet shaving, this blade treated me very well. Don't remember what razors I was using at the time, and so these are actually pretty inexpensive. I got some used. I got a whole big pack of them. It's great. So let's see if that's still the case, or at least is the case with this razor. The soap for today, I'm going to keep using this Stirling. Right before today's shave, it was 218 grams, and so we are losing weight on this soap, maybe half a gram a day. Seems to be the approximate calculation. I didn't weigh it the last 2 times I used it, so I don't have current stats. I'm gonna get my face wet. And all right, we can go ahead and load the soap. So this brush holds about 8.5 teaspoons of water, so I'm going to shake a lot of that out. Now, if you know how much water you like to use with your lather, then maybe you don't shake all of it out. That's a shortcut if you want to try that. So here's the way the soap looks. Let's do a 15-second load today. Lately I've just really had a wet mix because this soap looks terrific in the bowl, even when it's a little too wet. And so I'm gonna maybe run it a little thicker this time, and that's 15 seconds. I can actually use this brush to use 7 seconds of loading with this guy to have enough lather for 3 passes plus a touch-up. But today I am doing it a little bit differently because I want a thicker lather, and I'm not necessarily going for the most economical lather every single time. So that's how much 15 seconds of loading looks like. And we will get ready here. All right, I'm going to take the Roger Quintero lather bowl. Little lip on the inside to keep the lather in. Spines, obviously, around it to agitate the lather and help. Those are less important. If you find a bowl that's a nice shape, good size for you, has smooth bottoms, I recommend that very much. The one from the Dollar Tree that is about the right size is this. It's a soup or chili bowl, and I'd rather use that than even some really nice lather bowls like the fine accoutrements lather bowl. It's got this cool loop on the side with a brush rest, and it's got the ridges in it, but it's too shallow. My lather just overflows it like crazy. Because I build 3 or 4 passes of lather right before I shave, and so I need somewhere to keep that, while I'm shaving. While I'm building the lather. And I spend so much of my time trying to keep the lather in instead of mixing it. So it's a real waste of time, real chore. Likewise, and that seems to have the same dimensions as the large version of the Captain's Choice lather bowl, and that's the ceramic one. I haven't tried the copper one that has come out So I'd much rather have one that's about 5 or 5.5 inches in inside diameter and about 2 3/8, maybe plus or minus 1/4 of an inch deep inside depth. That's my preferred size. And if it doesn't have ridges on the bottom, then that's not a big deal. If it doesn't have this inturned lip, that size is, for me, is the most important. Now I put in 1.5 teaspoons of water. This is a 15-second load, so I do think I'm going to have to put in all 2 teaspoons. Adjust my camera down a little bit at you. It's probably better for you to see my lather bowl than my forehead. So I'm mixing around. If you use a lather bowl, when you mix and you see a lot on the ridges and the sides of the bowl and not very much down in the middle, that's usually an indication that you need to keep adding water. But play around, see what you think. Sometimes when that happens, one thing I do is I release the pressure a little bit on the brush. I don't splay it very much when I'm moving it around in the bowl. That seems to keep some more toward the bottom of the bowl. And I think that may have a different mixing action that might be beneficial. I think I'm liking that lately. But this brush is just soaking up this lather. I think I'm gonna even have to add another 1/2 teaspoon. Stirling's terrific because you can mix it thick, you can mix it thin. It will take water like a champ, won't break down. If it breaks down, then you have added a lot of water, really a significant amount of water. Also going to work this Stirling brush. It's got maybe 26, 28 uses in it, and it's still got some backbone, so I'm working that in the splay a lot. You'll see me do the scrubbing motion on my face instead of on the second and third pass, just doing the painting strokes, which is the normal practice. I will be scrubbing as well because I'm just trying to work that brush knot, have it relax some, give me a little bit less backbone. All right, now I'm going to jab the brush down into the lather. Not so much that it splays it a lot, but just so much that it shoves the lather into the center part of the brush. This dense kind of brush tends to empty itself of lather within the first few scrubs on my face. So I need to make sure to get it in there. Water on my face. Maybe 1.5 days of growth is what we're looking at today. Can switch to the painting motion and then scrub some more because the painting can get the soap off the side of your brush, and then you switch back to the scrub to put that soap in that lather in the middle of your brush again. This feels great. I think this brush is going to work out. I think it's gradually going to splay a little bit more, and I think when it does, as it does that, I just need a little bit more, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. It's still quite soft, still very soft, but you do get kind of a scrubby feel, but it's not from the tips almost. It's maybe from the bristles themselves as they've splayed, and I don't know, that's just how it feels. All right. Now, I'm just going to lay down a layer of the lather. I can't do like a lot of those other YouTube shavers and just kind of go back and forth across my chin and everything. It just looks so nice. They're just able to smooth out such a tremendous layer like that, where I have to deal with this goatee. Take away some lather from the unshavable area there. It doesn't have any hair on it. A little raw if I shave there. All right, so this is a 2.5 teaspoon lather with a 15-second load. I have a nice luxurious lather. Feels really good. I'm confident that it's going to give me a good shave. Let's see how this platinum. Ooh, yeah, nice. Oh, this is good. This is above average for this razor. I've tried a dozen blades in this razor. This one's been used twice. Some people would have thrown out this blade by now. But this is, I do have a little bit of blade feel, but no tugging. And this is with a 1.5 days of growth. I do have a good number of blades that I've tried with this razor where the blade does really well on the second and third pass. Pretty much, I mean, all of them do that. But what it does on the first pass is feel just a little bit tuggy, a little bit more blade feel than I might like. The Gillette Platinum is probably the best. Can't remember the second place. I need to look back at my records. And there we go. Nice first pass. Time to rinse. All right, I've gotten the water out of my goatee. Sometimes that can wash out your lather if you like wet lathers like me. If you like dry lathers, it may help out your lather. I mean, it might make it a little bit more wet than you're used to, but it might make it into a better lather. I'm a little convinced that a lot of people use lathers that are too dry. Oh, the smell on this thing is nice. It's understated. Classy cologne scent based off Tom Ford's gray vetiver scent. Lather feels terrific. Nice and creamy. Still wet and slick. My razor had excellent glide as I was moving across here. So cross grain now, and this is super comfy. So this one just cut better than most of the other blades that I've tried in this razor on that first pass. They're all pretty much the same on the second pass. Now, of course, they're all different after the third pass when you look at the results. And when I say they're all different, what I meant was an area where they can differ is the results. Just excellent glide here. My skin feels very protected. This is an 85 gap, and so it's milder than a lot of them out there. I still could probably go a notch milder on this one because these razors are so efficient that I feel like it would still have a nice close cutting shave, a nice close cut, even if it was just a touch milder. All right, that was great. Rinse time. And time for that third pass. You know, 15 seconds may be kind of a really good lather amount for me. You know, 12 might be a little better. I used 12 on a Maggard SHD fan yesterday, and it didn't quite pick up as much soap as this brush, and so I guess this brush just has a little bit more stiffness in the bristles, and that perhaps helped it to pick up more soap. And so that's why I try to tell you the brush I used whenever I tell you the seconds of loading, because, and I do mention this often, the brush definitely affects how quickly it picks up soap from the tub. A really stiff bore is going to pick up more soap quickly than a really flexible and smooth, soft bore brush. Man, this is just a great shave. Well, I'm saying it's great because it's comfortable, and this lather is just perfect. It's slick and wet. I am sliding effortlessly all over the place. Now the little stroke this direction. And to hopefully get that tricky spot. Ooh, that looks really good. Very close. So this might be one of the, and this is an economical blade as I recall, or at least I ended up with a bunch of them for cheap. So this is a great way to go on this one. All right, well, I've got tons of lather left over, enough for probably 2 passes. I could probably squeeze 3 out of it. So maybe with this brush, knock it back to 12 seconds or something, and still have plenty of lather to do the job. And this was a good mix. Wow, 2.5 teaspoons of water. Face feels great. Tiny bit of redness right there with a little weeper in that spot where I cut myself, or at least generate some irritation. So much. There's not any hair there, but it's right next to where I have to shave to get my trouble spot. So, and it doesn't feel bad even now, and much less after the shave. And so I'm not really too worried about trying to not nick it anymore, you know, because it's red for a few minutes and then it's gone. So here's an example of a blade I haven't used probably in a year. Maybe 6 or 8 months, year. It really could be feasible. But it turns out to be a wonderful blade to use with this razor. Probably the top 3 of the dozen blades that I've tried out. And those dozen blades have been a lot of my favorite ones. And so it just goes to show you, get a sampler of maybe 3 or 4 blades of some of the top blades out there, and just keep it on hand. And when you get a new razor in, try it with those blades, and like I do, I just pack the blades back up in their little in their wrapper. I put dots on them to indicate how many uses they've had. And then next time if you get a new razor in, you know, they run it through again, because you never know which one's going to be that special one that works well with your skin and the razor. So this is a great example of that. So I've shared with you how much lather I had, how much water I used, which is 2.5 teaspoons. Man, what a great scent. Let's see what kind of post shave we have. With a nice comfy shave like that, I'm going to go with an alcohol splash. Test depth from Reef soaps. I'm going to be spending time with the family today, so my wife really likes this one. So Reef did have to shut down their doors. I think it was earlier this year. That's a good scent. It does have alcohol. Tiny flecks of a little bit of burn feeling, just in a couple of spots. And now it's gone. So looks like my technique was pretty good today. Blade treated me well. This does have a little bit of menthol, but it's not too much for me, which is sometimes hard to accomplish, but they did it enough to matter, but not enough to really bother me too much. It does come up into my eyes just a little bit and kind of sting just a hair, but it goes away pretty quickly. All right, so I just checked, and that was a tremendous cut. Nice close cut right here in my trouble spot. Everywhere else, always great. So that was a great combination. Love the soap, and the blade and razor were terrific. The brush, I think it's getting a little better. It's still a little bit of work, you know, and so after I put 40 to 50 uses through it, I might start comparing it against some of my other brushes. And the thing is, there's just so many good brushes out there that what it could be doing, it could go is just to kind of sit on the back burner. And if it does that for too long, maybe I'll sell it. But the knot itself is very inexpensive because I bought it as a seconds from the Stirling website, and I think it's a great way to get into badgers. I like mine on the soft side with medium to slightly less than that backbone. But a lot of people, current trend, at least online, is they like that firmness, and that's definitely what that Stirling is going to offer you. A little bit more than medium backbone in general, especially if you set it down in the handle an average amount. I raised mine up, and so this is going to provide as little backbone as this knot is going to be able to give. But most people have them set a little deeper, and that's definitely going to give you more backbone. All right, well, there we go. Good shave. And I'll be able to put a data point in for the weight, and so that will give me a couple more to average in to get a good value for the per shave value that I'm getting here with Stirling. We'll see what that adds up to. All right, guys, I think we're good. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. I hope there's been something here that has helped you out. You take care.